When I wrote to Dr. Richards saying I wanted to come in here, I was just so tired of the feeling of heaviness, the burden of it, the anxiety every time I had to do something as simple as go to the grocery store, you know, just going outside to walk the dog. I was just so tired of it. You know, I've lived with it for probably over 40 years. And I thought, if there's something that can help lighten this heaviness and make me feel more normal, I will do it. I will at least try it. It doesn't even hurt to try. If I failed, I failed. But at least I would have tried, knowing that I at least tried. That's how I put not too great of a pressure on myself. So I just feel lighter now. I wouldn't say everything, you know, there's levels. I'm still working on hierarchies. But often now, if I have to go to the grocery store, my husband will say, "Do you want me to go with you?" Whereas, going back to another topic, that's another example of, he would be a little resentful of, you know, when I would ask him to go to the store for me or with me, and he'd be like, "Why can't you just go to the grocery store like everybody else?" But now he's almost like, you know, "Do you want me to go to the store with you, or do you want me to go to the store for you if you're having a bad day?" So I'm like, now, I mean, I appreciate the company, but I don't always need it, you know. There's a lot of times I'll say, "No, I'm good, I can go." And I've actually talked to people in the grocery store, and I use it, the grocery store, like standing in line, which was one of the hardest things for I think all of us, is a really good opportunity to use the look around technique, because you're standing there waiting in line, and you can look around slowly and make sure and see, wow, you know, not everybody's life doesn't revolve around judging me. So it's really just a lightening of spirit. So I wouldn't say I'm 100% yet, but I would say that I am just so much farther, night and day from when I started. And I just feel lighter. I just feel like things are easier. I feel more normal, you know, and I wish I could have, I know we're not supposed to think about the past, but I just wish I could go back in time and knowing what I know now. And that's why I feel like the young people are very lucky in that they can, I even tell them, I say, you're lucky that you can be doing this, because you have the rest of your life ahead of you to do what you really want to do, to live up to your potential, to not be held back. I think so many people, this world would probably be a better place if everybody with SA wasn't, you know, was doing what they should or could be doing. They'd be happier. But like I said, even at my age, I'm just so, I don't know if you can hear the happiness in my voice, but I'm just so happy that I don't have to live out the whole rest of my life, you know, in the way that I lived out the first half. Actually, quite a few people have commented. I've had quite a few people comment on changes they've seen in me, in that my husband, number one, and he's the closest to me, he just sees me be able to do things that I couldn't do before. We go out to restaurants quite a bit. I'm not looking for the most hidden table anymore. Not sitting facing the wall anymore. I'm not getting all nervous before we go out and throwing hangers around looking for the right clothes anymore. It's kind of funny. But he just notices that I'm far more relaxed. I feel like my blood pressure's gone down. My daughter notices. For example, last week even, I had to make some phone calls. I had to call the phone company and a computer service and get some things changed around at the house. And before, that would have been a big thing for me to steel myself up to do. And I would have dreaded it and gotten upset having to do it. But what happened was I did it. I didn't even really think about it. I say really, but I don't think I thought about it at all. No more than what I was going to say or needed to say. And my daughter later, when I said that I had made those phone calls, and I just sort of said it as an aside, she says, "Mom," she says, "you would have never done anything like that in the past. you know, you just picked up the phone and did it, and you made those calls and talked to technical people. And so there are more examples, but she's noticed changes. Our friends have told me that there's something different about me. They're not quite sure what, but that I just seem generally more relaxed and easygoing. And they've seen that I don't need to have as many drinks of wine as I used to, you know, if any. So it's really surprising to me when I hear other people comment, especially friends, people that are not family, that they see a difference, because I don't know what they were seeing before, so I wasn't sure what they were seeing after. It's very interesting to me when they notice. What I would say to somebody who thinks they're, you know, maybe too old or it's not worth starting therapy at this point in time would be, it just isn't so. I mean, you can choose to live out the rest of your days with this condition. You're going to have it's hard enough getting older without getting older and still having social anxiety the rest of your life. So it's already become a lot easier for me to go out into the world, go outside of my house, to just do simple things like go to the grocery store, walk my dog, do anything, you know, anybody in our age group might do, without that, what I call silly anxiety of worrying about what everybody's thinking and etc. So I would say that, you know, I believe one famous astronaut's wife had a stutter, a very bad stutter, and at about age 50-something she went and found treatment for it, and she was finally able to do a little public speaking, whereas before she had just sort of hung in the background. And that kind of gave me some incentive and hope, and I thought, if she's happier now, and she did this at her age, that I could overcome social anxiety, you know, at this age.